Thursday, May 26th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. It was indeed a big severe weather day yesterday and last night. A lot of storm reports. I'll show you that map here in just a moment. Here in our region, it was a dry day yesterday, and I think a lot of us, once you get outside of the mountains, are going to have a dry day today. But we will see good chances for some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. But overall, the Memorial Day weekend forecast looks pretty good. And then we get back in some heat, for at least for a period of time, next week. Let's start off with that storm report map from yesterday. A lot of them at this point in time. There's been 884 total storm reports, 81 of those being tornado reports. And I should note that some of that's from Northern California. Pretty impressive looking tornadic activity in that area yesterday. But certainly it was the Ohio Valley and the Mississippi Valley that had the lion's share of the severe weather yesterday. All with this big upper level low that's beginning to weaken a bit. And it's centered this morning, still right here over the nation's midsection. It'll slowly weaken and pull off to the east-northeast. The radar this morning, some lingering thunderstorms in Mississippi and Alabama, up into parts of Kentucky and Ohio, Tennessee as well, even down into southeastern Louisiana. But a relative lull in the activity for the time being. In fact, at the point I'm cutting the video, there's no active severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings until you get way down in the portions of Texas. And yeah, look at that. That's some freeze warnings up this morning in parts of the western Great Lakes. There are some sub-freezing temperature readings as I speak there in northern Minnesota. Temperatures certainly very warm all across the southeast. In fact, across most of the Carolinas, it's in the 70s this morning during the 5 a.m. hour. And again, that system is weakening, but still strong enough to produce a severe weather threat today. There's the day one convective outlook. A big slight risk all the way from parts of the northeast down to the central Gulf Coast region. Here's your probabilities. And you'll notice the higher probabilities are going to be focused up here from northern West Virginia into Pennsylvania and New York. That's your tornado probabilities. There's the wind probabilities. And there are the hail probabilities. And then we get to the day two outlook. Slight risks relegated to eastern Oklahoma, into the Ozarks, and then again up into parts of the northeast. All right, there's the upper air chart today, that upper low beginning to fill a bit as it lifts to the northeast. Here's what it looks like by Friday early afternoon, much, much weaker. And then as we get into the second half of the weekend, this is Sunday morning, notice that big ridge begins to develop, and by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week, that's a big 594 decameter ridge over the Ohio Valley into parts of the northeast. And then finally, this is what the European does by the end of next week. This is Friday night. The ridge shifts out west, and we try to get into a northwest flow. And that would mean a break in the heat. You have to watch for those disturbances rolling our way from the northwest if that's the case by the end of next week. But let's focus on today. I think most of our region will be dry today, but by very late this afternoon, could see a few showers and storms creeping in from the west. Certainly in the mountains, some storms this afternoon, maybe the western upstate, and then as we get into tonight, there'll be the chance of a few of those showers and storms moving into the Piedmont. But it's definitely tomorrow that'll be the day that has the biggest coverage of showers and storms, and it looks like a relatively unsettled day. Could be some severe storms. The threat not nearly as significant as what's been taking place over the plains and into the Mississippi Valley, but I do think a few severe thunderstorm warnings will be required as our Friday unfolds. Saturday, the system just really kind of falls apart. So maybe if the chance Saturday of a few lingering storms, but not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. European model, there's your storms coming up Friday afternoon, and then it still prints a little bit of activity around the region Saturday, and then finally Sunday. Could be an isolated storm or two, but most spots by Sunday completely dry. This is the GFS on Sunday. Again, maybe an isolated storm, but mainly dry. And after a break in the heat coming up Friday and Saturday, some highs in the low to mid 80s in many spots. Sunday, upper 80s and low 90s, and everybody probably at least into the low 90s there on Memorial Day. Again, any day next week there could be an isolated storm, but the chance Monday and Tuesday looks pretty small overall. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, this next front tries to drop in, so there's Wednesday and there's Thursday. A better chance of a few storms around Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll see if we can get into some of that cooler air by the tail end of next week. All right, that is it for this Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.